Hi everybody, I'm State Representative Gary Day here at the Kutztown Fair. And we're here today to showcase not just the Kutztown Fair, but the greatness of all of our fairs in Pennsylvania. Make sure you stay tuned here today. We've got great interviews. We're taking a brief tour of the fair to showcase some of the great things of the Kutztown Fair. Make sure you mark it on your calendar for next year to come to this fair and all the fairs in the 187th District. Stay tuned. We've got a great program for you. Hey everybody, this is State Representative Gary Day. We're here at the Kutztown Fair, and at the fair we showcase farmers and all the things that they've done throughout the year. They bring their animals, their crops, and their food to the fairs to be able to show in competition, show some of the share techniques with each other of how to be better farmers, produce better crops for the people in the 187th District and around Pennsylvania. And with me today are two farmers who are great farmers in the 187th District. They're family farms, and they involve their second generation. They're involved in 4-H. Let's talk today to Brian Dietrich. Brian, tell us a little bit about your farm.
We're a multi-generational farm, Nutropoli. Our farm has been in the family for almost 100 years, and our children have worked on the farm since young on up, and we're involved with 4-H since they were able to show, which is 8 years old. So they've been involved for a long time.
So you're a dairy farm, is that right?
Yes, we're a dairy farm. We currently milk 200 cows.
Tell people a little bit about how a dairy farm really connects you to the farm.
Well, you have a commitment when you have dairy cows. I mean, they have to be milked either twice or 3 times a day, and the commitment is up there.
So also, you talked a little bit about second generation. Your kids are involved. They're here showing animals today and also competing in some of the skills that farmers have when they have animals. But tell us a little bit about 4-H. I know you've been a big supporter of 4-H through the years. Tell us about 4-H and how it helps teach these skills to the next generation.
Well, 4-H is definitely the place for the young ones to learn animal husbandry, how to care for the animals. Of course, if you care for the animals real well, you're going to get more meat. You're going to get more milk. And that's just the beginning. And of course, the hands-on experience that they learn on the farm, working hand in hand with us on the farm, I mean, that's just, you can't beat that.
You know, I said that I have two farmers with me today. I have another farmer here I'm going to introduce you to in a moment. But these two family farms are people that I've been friends with for probably over 10 years. And my in-laws, my wife's family, I've known them their whole lives, and their parents as well. And they're great family farms. And let me introduce you to Todd Benikoff right here. Now, Todd, can you tell us a little bit about the farm that you guys have?
Well, we raise hogs. We're a farrow to finish feeder pig type farm. There's 150 sows there. I mean, we raise crops also. We have corn to feed everything, and you know, and the children. My son and I are actually partners already, so everything's set up to go moving forward.
Now let's talk a little bit about that. You have your kids involved, and they're learning the skills here of your farm and the things that you need to do on your farm. Tell us a little about your kids, how they were involved in 4-H program, and how that helped them learn the skills of farming.
Well, it's just fairs are part of it, but there's more to it than that. There's things that they learn, friendship, and that's a big thing, and communicate with other people. I feel you need to be able to communicate, and I think in society today, we've lost a lot of that. And I think that's the biggest part of 4-H is your partnership skills with other people.
Right. Well, that's great. We have two great farmers here who have been farming for a long time in their families, and they're passing on these skills to their next generation. And they also share their skills in Harrisburg. Brian Dietrich comes out to Harrisburg a lot and advocates for different farming changes in law that helps farmers. And I know Todd here, many years, raised a great family, and these guys are both pillars in our community, and their families are as well. Gentlemen, I'd like to thank you both for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Keep up the great work. They're doing a great job passing on these farming skills to the next generation, not only with their own children, but with other children as well. They share a great deal of their time to share their skills. Thanks, guys. All right, we're still here at the Kutztown Fair, and we talked to some farmers, and now we're going to talk to second generation farmers in those families. With me today is Jessica Dietrich. Hi, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
So I wanted to ask you a question. Tell us a little bit about what it's like to be, a farmer and be a second generation farmer.
Well, first off, it's very hard work. We start milking at 4 o'clock in the morning, so we're up at 3:30 getting ready. We go out, milk the cows 3 times a day, and then we have field work, and it's just very hard, but it's very rewarding just knowing that you're feeding people and helping the poor and the hungry.
Oh, that's great. And with me also are the Benikoffs. Hi, guys. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you. Can you tell us a little bit about what life's like on your farm?
Just like Jessica said, it's definitely hard work. I mean, no matter what, you don't get a day off. Holidays, weekends, you don't get to rest on Sundays, unfortunately, but you gotta love to do it, and it's definitely rewarding.
But isn't it hard? Isn't it like, do you ever get up and say, I just don't want to go out there?
Sometimes, but you just push through.
Oh, good, good. Now, the other thing is these 3 young ladies are all graduates of the 4-H program. They're not in 4-H anymore, but they were, and they were great participants in the 4-H program. And I'd like to ask you, Amy, can you tell us a little bit about what you learned in the 4-H program?
Definitely a lot of responsibility. You have to be out there. Either if you win or lose, you just kind of have to put your game face on and just push through it. It's definitely like my little sister's out there right now, and you're kind of coaching her from the sideline, but it's hard just to keep your mouth shut sometimes.
So you sit there, you're waking up early, you're learning all these skills and everything, and then the 4-H program gives you an opportunity to compete and see how you're doing. How am I doing? We know how we're doing sometimes by ourselves when we're on the farm by ourselves, out in the barn or whatever. But this 4-H gives you the opportunity to compete against your peers and see how you're doing skill-wise. So I want to thank you guys. These 3 ladies are outstanding young ladies in the 187th District. I really appreciate that you guys could be here today. I'm so proud of all the work that you've done through the years and how great your skills are that I've seen throughout the years, and also that you give back, that you help in your case, your sister and your brothers are out there competing now, and you're still here at the fair cheering them on and helping to procreate those farming skills to everybody, to your family as well. So thank you for being with me today. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Hey, everybody, this is State Representative Gary Day here at the Kutztown Fair with the Dietrich brothers here in competition. Guys, tell us a little bit about what you're here competing with today.
We're just here with a bunch of other fellow 4-H'ers, out here having fun, doing some friendly competition to see how well we can fit our steers, and just kind of learn off of each other as to how different things can be done differently.
Hey, Josh, how long you been doing this, and do you enjoy it?
6 years, and it's really fun. I enjoy it because I get to hang out with my friends and make some money.
Well, that's really good. This is one of the great things at all of our fairs across Pennsylvania is we have young folks learning 6 years now. He's really young, been doing it since a young age. These guys have been doing this a long time. It helps look at husbandry and other farming activities. Our fairs are great fairs in Pennsylvania, and they showcase that, give them the opportunity to compete in the skills that they've learned over the years. And I want to thank you guys for being on the program today. Thanks, guys. Good luck. Have fun. Hi, I'm State Representative Gary Day here to tell you about my upcoming senior fair on Thursday, October 2nd from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. 310 Noble Street in Kutztown at the Kutztown Fire Company. There's free door prizes, free flu shots, and free refreshments. There'll be vendors here to answer all the questions that you have at my senior fair coming up on Thursday, October 2nd from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Hope to see you there.
Did you know that Act 16 of 1999 honors one of the greatest leaders in the Pennsylvania House of Representatives? The Matthew J. Ryan Legislative Office Building, once known as the Capitol Annex, is located next to the main Capitol building and honors the late Speaker of the House, Matthew J. Ryan. Those who visit this building will observe the magnificent architectural designs providing eloquence and grandeur to the building. Known as one of the greatest members in the history of the Pennsylvania State House, Matthew Ryan started his career in the legislature in 1963 and was elected Speaker in 1981. His charisma and knowledge will forever be reflected in the building now named after this great legislative leader. Now you know.
Okay, with me today also is Sarah Smith. And Sarah has raised an Angus all by herself, and she participates in the 4-H program. Sarah, I want to ask you a question. Tell me a little bit about what it's like to raise an animal like this.
It's a lot of work, but it all goes good at the end, and you get to become close with your animal and show it and walk it and clean it. So you get an animal like this. First of all, I want to say these animals are about 1,200 pounds, probably 10 or 15 times the size of the kids that are handling these animals. These animals, you get an animal in on your farm, and then you have to feed it every day, right? Make sure it's fed, clean out its stall, where it lives and everything, keep it clean. You have to also know the skills of grooming, right? And then those skills, because you're in 4-H, that's part of showing the animal, is that right? Yeah.
So when you're showing an animal, you got a 1,200 pound animal, and you have to have skills that guide it around a ring. Can you tell us a little bit about that? I think you have a little staff or a rod, right? Tell us about how do you guide a 1,200 pound animal when you're small like you and me?
Well, you first train it, so you walk it, and then you use a show stick to set it up so it's square, so it looks more built with meat and capacity on its legs.
Well, that's good. And then I know you've been very successful in a lot of the shows. And then raising an animal like this comes to a culmination where you actually sell the animal then. So you show it in, how many fairs will you show this animal in?
4.
Four fairs. I know Kutztown and it ends at Allentown. What are the other two?
Schnecksville and Kempton Fair.
Oh, okay. So they're all here in our district, pretty much in the 187th. Kempton's a little outside. And then you sell the animal. Do you usually make a profit from and have a little bit of spending money then?
Yeah.
So is that what you do? Do you save all that money or spend it?
Well, it goes towards feed that you buy for it and like hay and straw, and then a little bit goes in the bank.
Well, that's good. For all the work that you put in, that's wonderful. I want to thank you for being on our program today. I really appreciate it. We've talked to some farmers. We've talked to some graduates of 4-H, and Sarah's still in the 4-H program and doing an outstanding job learning the skills on the farm. Being able to raise and show an animal like this is tremendous, and I want to just thank you for being on the program. Thank you, Sarah. We're here at the Kutztown Fair, and one of the big parts of the Kutztown Fair is that our farmers get to show their animals and their crops that they've produced throughout the year. And also at these fairs, our local service organizations, our nonprofit organizations, run food stands and are able to raise money and use that money to operate their organizations and also to give out that money to good community-worthy causes. So in this case, we have with us Paul Miller here, who is working today at the Virginville Grange stand at the Kutztown Fair. And you sell, what kind of food do you sell here?
At this stand, we have the hamburgers, cheeseburgers, hot dogs, corn fritters, toasted cheese sandwiches, and chloroform drinks. And the second building has funnel cakes, 2 kinds of soups, and I think they make also apple fritters in that building.
So tell us a little bit about how long have you been a Grange member, and why have you been a Grange member as long as you have?
I just received my 70-year badge the other year. You have to be 14 years of age to join the Grange, and I got my 70th. So I'm not going to tell you what my age is.
Well, that's great. You've been doing this a long time. tell people the values of the Granges and why they should join.
The value of the Grange is a little different than it was when it was organized over 100 years ago. Today it's more of a family-oriented organization. Most Granges no longer use a secret word to it because we're really all family and community. We try to give us away as much as we can to the community.
Well, I'd like to thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you for all your work throughout those many years. You said you have your 70-year badge.
Yep.
and serving the people of Virginville, which is part of the big regional area of Kutztown, and we really appreciate it. I've been proud to serve Virginville for many years. That'll be changing in December. If you live in Virginville, you'll have a new House member, Representative Ryan McKenzie. Just during the transition, you can call my office, and we'll make sure you get through to the right state representative, and we'll continue to serve everybody in the Kutztown region. Thanks again for your time. Thank you. Another great part of the fairs here at Kutztown Fair and all fairs across Pennsylvania are other competitions besides animals and our big commercial crops and grains. We also have competitions among baked goods, and we have two winners here today with us to tell us a little bit about. Tell us what you won, what competition you won in the baked goods competition.
I won a first place in the brownie competition in the baked goods section.
Okay, and I also understand you're both members of the Grange, right? And as a member of the Grange, you hold a particular title. Let's tell everybody what that title is and what your responsibilities are.
I am the Berks County Junior Grange Mini Princess, and I help promote the Grange by handing out ribbons.
Well, that's really neat. So you help the Grange. Can you tell us a little bit about what competition that you were in and that you won a second place also?
Well, I got second place in the brownies, and I got second place in the fudge.
Well, that's good. Now, tell me a little bit about the competition. Was it hard?
Not really, because I've been doing it for a while because we always do it every year, and I've been coming to the fair ever since I was really little.
Is it fun? Would you recommend other people your age do this?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the Grange. Why are you part of the Grange? What do you like about the Grange?
Well, my friend got me into it. She was telling me all about how much fun it was at school, and I finally gave in, and I went to one meeting, and I was set, and it's just so much fun, and I go to camp every year, and it's just such a good organization.
And Kelly, can you tell us a little bit about, you're a little bit younger, what makes you like to be in the Grange?
Well, pretty much the same thing. One of her friend's sister dragged me into it, and it's a lot of fun.
And ever since then, so now you compete, and you were very successful in the competitions. Now, Caitlin, let's see here. You also won. You sewed this skirt. Is that correct?
Yes.
So there's our Granges throughout Pennsylvania have always been teaching family values and teaching the different skills that we need in our families. Things like sewing clothing isn't done too much anymore. A lot of times we go out and buy our clothing, but to have these skills helps you repair the clothes that you do have, and also to have the skills of baking. Why just do baking and stay in your house? Why not be proud of the skills that you have and show them and compete at your fair? So whether you're at the Kutztown Fair, the Allentown Fair, the Kempton Fair, or Berks County Fair, any of the fairs in this region, go to those fairs, be part of them, compete. Maybe you'll win a prize, first or second or third place like these young ladies have. Or maybe you'll be, what is that title again?
Berks County Junior Grange Mini Princess.
I'm very proud of you to be that. It takes someone very conscientious to be that for the organization and to help promote the Granges around Pennsylvania. So thank you, ladies, very much for being on the program today. One of the great things at all of our fairs in Pennsylvania, of course, are the animals that we show at the fairs with the farmers, but also a lot of people enter in vegetables, baked goods, and also canning is another fine art from the past, right? A lot of people don't do it as much anymore, but it's another skill and we can all types of products. With me today to talk about the wall behind us here and more competitions at the Kutztown Fair is Diane Kern. Diane, welcome to the program, and can you tell us what you do for the fair here?
I'm one of the 20 Kutztown Fair directors, and I've been involved doing this job for 19 years.
Oh, wow. So that's a long time. Now, the canning aspect, I mean, the whole wall behind us is filled with competitors. Can you tell us a little? It's all kinds of foodstuffs that are in this. Is there anything that people don't compete in?
Well, we have a lot of canned fruits and vegetables, and they can do it many different ways. Some are pickling, some are just regular processing. They do jams and jellies and marmalades and conserves. There are many different variations that they can make it.
And how do they compete? Do they actually open them up, or is it just on presentation and looks?
I know some fairs open them up. There are certain things that we open. Some are just on the way they look. Jams and jellies are always tasted, but the canned goods themselves are just on the way they look and, clarity and, appealing.
Right. So you've been doing this 19 years. The question I have to ask you is, what makes you keep doing it? Why do you like to do this so much?
Well, I've always been a volunteer kind of person, and I just like being out and with people, and I get a lot of nice help, and just talk to people and.
Right. And is there any stories in your 19 years, any one particular story that stands out that was, especially rewarding, or just that warm, that makes you come back? Is there any one particular thing? Like, I know you work with a lot of children that do compete or are with their moms and dads in competition. Can you tell us something about maybe a family story or something from your past?
Well, I know that when I was growing up, I used to bring animals out here, and I used to show cows, and I've always loved coming to the fair, and it just grew, and my daughters, and they always showed animals, and the grandkids, they got into showing not animals, but other departments like arts and crafts and vegetables. So it's a whole family experience.
Well, you know what? I'd like to thank you for being part of the program today. It's very important. We have many different areas of the fair. It makes it a great experience. Like you said, you've always loved to come here. I have as well. The Allentown Fair, Chenexville is in my district. Kempton is just over the border in my district. And of course, Kutztown is in my district. I go down to Berks County as well. And it's so great to have volunteers like you that keep helping to make our fairs great. Helps us to show all these different products and these skills and pass it on to the next generation. I want to just thank you for being on the program today. Thank you, Diane. With me today is Richard Dry, the president of the Kutztown Fair Association, and I'd like to welcome you to the program. Thanks for being on the program today. I wanted you to just open up and tell people what's it like to be the president, and why do you do it?
Well, I do it. I enjoy all the people being involved. It's all about the community. We have a great board of directors and great volunteers. Without all their hard work, we would never get it done. And I'm really appreciative of all the work they do.
Now, I've said over and over, fairs are about farmers, 4-H, those skills of farming, also the family values of the Granges and the skills learned and passed on to the next generation. But also at these fairs, we round out the fairs as being great family events. We have games for kids. We have some rides for kids also at our different fairs. And you have to manage that whole operation. And you've said you have so many great volunteers. Tell us, for the average viewer out there who might not have come to a fair in the past year or something, why should they go out to a fair?
Well, it is a good family event. There's something for everybody. Most people don't realize we start in January and February already booking our entertainment, making plans. We discuss what went wrong or what went right, and we try to work on that. And usually by April or May, we're all set to go, or hopefully nothing changes.
Well, you know what? The Kutztown Fair is a great fair in the 187th District. I want to thank you for all the work that you do, and thank you for representing all the volunteers, your directors, everybody who's involved here at the fair. Also, I want to push it even a little bit further. the fairs. There's a brotherhood among fairs and fair operations, and we really say it for all the fairs. There's 4 or 5 in our area and region that I try to support and get out to. Kutztown Fair is one of the greatest fairs in Pennsylvania. I hope everybody would, if you haven't been out to the Kutztown Fair, book it on your calendar for next year. Come out and see some of the famous quilts that are sold here. We also at auction, but really look at the skills. Get your children involved in the Grange or the 4-H. Learn some of these skills. It really teaches a lot of discipline, and I want to thank you again for being on the program.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, here at the Kutztown Fair, there's many different things happening, and you've seen it in this program already. Sometimes the last part of your experience at a fair is to go down the midway, and we talked about all the things that you should come to see at the fair. We talked about animals, we talked about the crops and the vegetables that they have, and we also talked about the social service agencies who use the fairs as fundraisers so that any profit goes back into the community. These are great family events, and with me today is Earl Leiby, and let's just talk about the Midway experience. Every fair that you go to, especially when you're between the ages of 8 and about 16 or 17, you love the games of the Midway and the different fun you can have. Tell us a little bit about what goes into producing all these nice fun games along here.
Well, Larry Seaman usually handles this, and he does a terrific job. We give so many fair feet to everybody here, and everybody wants the best spots, so you try to equal it out. But we have a terrific fairway here. It's just wonderful. Alan Herring helps with us, and it's just great. Everybody sticks together at the Kutztown Fair.
So what's the neatest thing you saw here so far? A big banana that you can win, or a monkey, or what's the big stuffed animal that's down here on the fair that you've seen?
A big monkey. Yes.
So the kids love to go on the Midway, and it helps round out the experience, along with any rides that are at any of the fairs in the 187th District. I want to thank you for being on the program today. Are there any other things that we should tell people about coming to the fair next year? Why should they mark it on their calendar to come out to the fair?
Every year we try to make it a little bit better, something new, and we're always open for suggestions. Okay. So we're hoping usually the elderly women tell us what they like the best.
Well, and that helps make it a better fair next year. Is that right?
Absolutely.
So you're saying we welcome constructive ideas, right?
Correct.
Now, we were in all different kinds of areas, and if you stop in any one of the areas, whether it's in the hall with the vegetables, the quilts, all the work that people put into each entry is amazing to me, and it's all under, well, not under one roof, but under God's roof outside here. But the fair is a great fair. I urge everybody to mark it on their calendars next year. And I want to thank you for being with me, and thank all the people of the Kutztown Fair for allowing me to do this program here today. I'm extremely proud to represent the people here in Kutztown, but it's really a regional event that is great for everybody in the 187th District. Mark this on your calendar. Mark Kempton on your calendar, Schnecksville on your calendar, and Allentown, the great Allentown Fair on your calendar. Go down to Berks County. Go to a few of those if you can, different fairs. Everything we talked about on today's program is available to you to participate in, or just come here as a sponsor and help out. Come here as a participant. Buy some of the foods. Let your kids run along the Midway here and have a great time. These are the memories that we make in the 187th District for our families and our community. By the way, you'll see a lot of people from the community, including me and my family, and many other dignitaries come out to the fairs to make sure that we can see you and talk to you. If you have any questions regarding this program or any state-related issues, please don't hesitate to contact my office. Those numbers will be up at the end of this program, so you'll be able to do that. Thank you again for watching. I really appreciate your time watching this program. And if you have any other questions or want to participate, call my office. Thank you for watching today.